there's nothing that claws away clarity so fast as physical pain.
No.
Because the physical pain brings us back into the idea that we are the physical body. And that's very hard to shake when the body is in pain. So what we end up doing is we end up coming out of that level of clarity, and we are then resistant to the fact that we're not in that. And that resistance is, and that resistance takes us further down, so to speak. The opposite of clarity is resistance, of course, of any kind. So for me, what I have always said is that, because this thing has been an ugly gift for me, as virtually everything that was awful in my life has been an ugly gift. And the ugly giftness of this is that it has forced me into a deeper surrender than I knew prior to my spine difficulties, where I have to recognize that that's Fred's problem. And it's a damn shame, but at least it's Fred's. It's not mine. It doesn't have any, it's not mine, doesn't have anything to do with me. And it is absolutely as real as Fred is, which is, it's, as Linda just said, pain monopolizes attention. And of course, attention, paying attention to attention is what clarity is all about. When we can't, when our focus is torn away from that, then to the degree that it's torn away will be the degree that we will suffer. And the only way we can get back there, well, I don't know, the only way that I've been able to get back there, so to get back there being just a way to put something that's not very accurate. But to again experience, or actually again be, to again be the clarity, is to completely surrender to the pain and recognize that in a bizarre sort of way, the pain is my friend, because it forces me into a level of alertness that I would never be able to maintain otherwise. So it has its, it has its pluses. The unit has a very strong preference that this pain not be here, that this pain go away. But the body's got its preferences, and it's not to be reprimanded for it, right? There's nothing wrong with the body having its preferences. It just does. It can't not. It's a body, and it's fully geared to sense things, to sense the world and its experiences. But the body is not the end user. The body is the agent of consciousness here. And it is the pipeline through which experience this. I can just tell you, this is what I strongly believe. When I say that I strongly believe, it means that I have had whiffs of things. It's not like great insight or startling right then, but great whiffs of things. And that's what I'm kind of building this around. Allowing the body to do what it needs to do, which it can be bitch and moan. That's not off the table. But I noticed that bitching and moaning is very, very painful, because it means my eyes off the ball. I think things, because what's the first lead away from all clarity? It's the things ought to be other than the way they are. Yeah, you know that very well. So the resistance to the pain is things ought to be other than the way they are. It comes from such a deep place that it feels like that it is absolutely, that it's must, that you can't not feel that. In my experience, that's not true. If there is I've had pain where I've just sat there and looked at Betsy and cried. In that level of pain, there's not surrender. I don't even know what is there. Okay, it's the world of pain. Barring that level of pain, there is an acceptance of existence. And this is the acceptance of existence itself. Yeah. Existence means pain and its opposite. Welcome to relativity. So the more that I identify with relativity, the worse the pain is going to be. And it's not like I'm saying, well, gee, none of this is real and I'm okay. It's just a recognition that truly none of this is. It's not that none of this is real. It's really that none of this is. It feels like it is. It looks like it is. We can talk about it like it is. But nothing's actually happening here, and nothing ever has. With this kind of understanding, you can recognize that this experience is this. And if you can allow yourself you can allow the wheel to turn without us doing this, the wheel will turn smoothly and there's just not the rough ride. It's not comfortable. It's never going to be comfortable. I don't think. It wouldn't be pain if it was comfortable. So it's never going to have the Fred units, okay. But I can allow it to be. Number one, it already is, and it's insanity to try to disallow something that already is. The other thing is that it really does give me that gift of a deeper clarity, because it's a deeper surrender. And when I'm talking about surrender, I'm not talking about Fred surrendering to God or anything like that. Always sounds like that, but that's not the truth. There's no Fred. So how on earth is Fred going to surrender to some other entity? There's no other entity, if there's one. So it's awakeness through consciousness, surrendering to relativity, surrendering to the experience of what is. And when you can go there, in my experience, this thing lightens up, and it lightens up markedly. But I'm not Pollyanna. There's no wish to. Would I trade the clarity for a little more fogginess and a little less pain? Probably so, but I don't have that kind of option. This is the way it's presenting itself anyway. So what's the best way that I can deal with it? And it's like any other terrible thing. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough. We don't have enough time. We don't have enough. People don't treat us well. They don't treat us like that we should be treated, and all of these things that come up. And when I can just sit down and say, yes, there are all these shoulds, but where did they come from? And it's my thoughts. I set up benchmarks for relativity, and it fails to meet them virtually every time. So it ought to be like this, but it's not. I should feel like this, but I don't. I should have this, but I don't. Loving what is a very tall order, but it is certainly a movement in the right direction. Acceptance of what is not other than love of what is.